buyers. Now, I know you're saying that it's easy and they're dealing, this is happening all over the country.
The smaller the square footage,
Yeah, these were small. I mean, remember, I lived in California for a while where this kind of thing they did this stuff all the time. And it didn't always bring great things to the areas where they put it in place. Either, the urban aspect of it, or some of these financing kinds of things that they were put in place. And it sounds great, but some of the neighborhood type things that you're talking about are also meant for areas where there's a lot of public transportation and that type of thing, which we're not set up for. I mean, we're talking about walking to downtown, which we are set up for, and that's easy. But a lot of this design was set up for a whole other aspect with bus stops and trains, and we're just adapting it. So, I don't really think that it's the best approach. I'm not going to tell you I absolutely wouldn't consider it, but I'm not sure that I'm ready to say throw it to Jonathan without my looking into some of it a little bit further before they start working on it.
Does it make sense then to separate the C1 from the adjacent residential? Because they're separated now, they're two separate ordinances. So if it makes sense to only look at C1 and then have more conversation on the adjacent multifamily, we could do that.
I kind of like that because you and I have talked about this for a while. I'd like to know what C1 is, and then let it expand from there after we've defined the C1 area, but that's up to the planners and Kronberg and all that sort of thing. But that would be my wish, just to see what C1, what are we doing?
So we did separate it out for that reason.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
This square footage and density idea has been something we've been having a long-term conversation. So if that makes the most sense, what I would say is I'll probably circulate both of these to the group one final last time and go ahead and ask Jonathan to form up to work with Eric and Elizabeth on forming up the C1 component only, and then we'll have some further conversation on multifamily. Does that help?
I like that idea too.
Okay. That's why I'm here, because again, I just don't want to waste Eric and Elizabeth's money if it's something you guys aren't comfortable with.
I think you have a better chance of getting us to list them if they're separate.
Okay. And then maybe let's have a separate conversation about the adjacent residential to see what we can do. I think that's an option. Okay, I will proceed with that.
Thanks, sir.
All right.
Good information.
Thanks, Nate.
Okay. Old business. We have Town Place Suites site plan. This was on last month, and we have a request and a motion to move it to this month.
So I do have the copies of the plan as requested. So at last month's meeting, the main points of discussion were the sign plans in addition to the site plans, which those were sent to Jonathan. We did not receive any comment on those. And then the other big one was getting written confirmation from Travis Wilson that there was no other comments and the stormwater was approved, which I do have that email in writing here for you guys. So that has been approved. And then we have also reached out to TDOT to make sure that as we're going through this process, we're coordinating with them on the utilities.
My recollection is that the developer had agreed to be responsible for any changes that were necessitated by TDOT's design, and that we asked that would be shown on the
Yes,
drawings.
that note was added to the plan. So I do have the plan sets over here, and I can bring them up and start that has been added on the plans.
Did TDOT have anything to do, or did you have anything to do with TDOT and the famous Chapter 86?
So we have not heard back from them. We have reached out to TDOT to ask them about coordination for this, and please let us know, and sent them the plan, but they have not responded.
Is there a due date or something you need first, or? Because
so
that's an issue from what I hear.
So the last conversation we had where we did have correspondence with TDOT was they said they would not let us know if the utility plan worked in conjunction with theirs until it was approved by the town. We needed a town approval first, and then they would let us know if it worked.
And Travis Wilson addressed that
Yes, so that was where he said.
to the satisfaction of you and TDOT?
Yes, that's my understanding.
It's a chicken or the egg. Does that mean we doing a conditional approval that we said we would never do again? Or?
Well, they have well, I don't know, with the TDOT concern, it's not really, that doesn't count.
So my understanding with the TDOT is if you guys were to approve it and then TDOT was to say, this does not work, I mean, we would have to bring it back before you guys, because that would be a significant construction change, because that would be a change in the
That's my
sewer
point.
layout, and so it would have to be a discussion with Jonathan. It wouldn't just be a conditional, it would be,
Yeah.
this is a change
Because
to.
what you
the
guys
layout.
would do is approve the site plan as presented, and from what their understanding is that there are no issues. And then before they can start building, they have to get a building permit, and they would have to resolve everything with TDOT before they can get a building permit. And so when they get that, so if there are any changes, then they would have to come back to you guys and get it done. I mean, I don't know exactly with TDOT, so the issue with TDOT, what is the issue? That maybe, we don't even know if it's really going to use.
So the issue would be if their basically project in that corridor was to relocate the sewer and we could no longer tie in at the same point, we would have to reroute the sewer up and around.
Which
So-
would be something that is out of Mont Eagle's and your hands, is TDOT. which
Essentially, and we
may or
did-
may not happen.
Yes, and we did send them two separate sewer layouts. I want to say middle of last year, maybe the early part of 25, and said, with the upcoming project you guys are doing, is there one of these two layouts that is going to be of less impact? And their response was, we will let you know once you have town approval. So they kind of just pushed it back towards us to say, you got to get town approval and then we'll take a look.
Which is not surprising. I know there's a big push with the state to basically get with plats, and I'm assuming probably site plans, is that instead of getting the utilities permission first, you get the town's permission, then the utilities will give, and TDEC and TDOT will sign off on that after that. Which I don't necessarily think is the best way, but that's the state of Tennessee and how they want to put their laws and stuff, which will obviously impact the planning commissions when they do reviews with things. Basically, it sounds like the state is pushing it more where they want the town to kind of, I guess they don't want to have to hear it back again, essentially, probably what the state says they don't want it, where they approve something, then the town says, well, we actually want to change things, the TDEC has to do a whole new review.
Travis, have you seen these plans? Do you have any issues with the fire department connection areas or anything?
Absolutely not.
I have this size
Okay.
drawings. Can you tell me which drawing sheet the note is that I asked you about?
Yes, it should be on C 5.0 and 5.1.
I believe it's on the left-hand side, or the right-hand side. sorry.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it, I looked at the
If,
notes.
if,
saw it.
if Jonathan's seen it,
Okay.
that's fine for me.
Yeah, there's a note, I think, there are at least two notes where it's.
Yes,
that.
so we've got it on multiple pages, so everything that refers to anything with the sewer has that note.
If I may, let me just ask out loud for procedure so it's clear. If we approve tonight, that's the site plan approval, and therefore he can get a building permit, and therefore start work. Do you have any timeline as to how that would work?
So I'd have to double check. I believe they wanted to start work probably next month, would be my understanding, but obviously that's contingent on TDOT.
Right.
And I would need to double check with the owner as well, because deference from the January to the February meeting, obviously changed a few things. So my understanding would be to just move things back a month, but before I'd say absolutely this is a hard timeline, I want to verify that.
Understood, thank you.
So yeah, if you guys approve it, then it would need to be signed, obviously the town keeps, these 4 copies and the developer keeps a copy. They're all signed copies separately. If you come in to get a building permit, everybody has a copy of the site plan that was approved.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the planning commission approve the site construction plans for Town Place Suites as submitted. The version that's submitted for this date.
I have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All those approved?
Aye.
All against? Motion carries. Thank you.
Just make sure that Katie signs it before we leave.
I will. Any properly presented old business? None. I failed to do this on the previous group, but it's my understanding that there's a new process that we have. I'm talking to council members. Prior to addressing old or new business, I have to have a motion to discuss. So, do I have a motion on the floor for us to be able to review new business?
I don't understand.
Yeah, I understand this is what the bylaws require. To just vote, yeah, I think it's Robert's Rules of Orders.
Okay, just restate it, I didn't understand the comment. What has to happen?
You just vote to discuss, to vote to hear old and new business. I think it's somewhat well, I don't want to say it.
It's something we can
It's
change.
Robert, yeah, you can change the bylaws to do it. It's just, I believe it's a reflection of Robert's Rules of Orders.
I
So,
move to
I
hear
need a
new
motion
business.
to discuss new business.
I move to discuss new
Do
business.
I have a second?
Second?
All for?
Aye.
All against? Motion carried. Okay. First on the agenda is Montego Market revised site plan. Representatives? Tim? We had, I'm going to speak first, okay? We had some questions. That may clarify some of the things you're going to say. When we were here the last 2 times, I believe, we've had issues and trying to get some clarity, and I think we've whittled it down to a few questions. One, can you tell us what's going to be inside the facility?
So there are 2,
You're going to have to speak up for me, I'm sorry. And it doesn't work.
so on the right side of the building, it's just gonna be like a convenience attached for the gas station part of it, for the pumps. And then on the left side of it will be a tobacco smoke shop.
Okay, are there going to be separate entrances into that facility, those 2 facilities?
Yes.
Will there be a joining door inside where you can enter either facility from either side?
Yes.
Open to the public?
I mean, yes.
Okay. And can you tell us if there's going to be a restaurant inside the facility?
Restroom?
Restaurant?
It's not going to be a dining restaurant, no.
I can't hear you.
It's not going to be a dining restaurant.
No dining room?
No, not a dining room. You could have like a small sitting area where they could sit and eat for a little bit, but not like a long, like restaurant.
So just for clarity, I want you to understand that whatever we vote on, whether we approve it or not, if we do approve it, those answers you're giving me now are going to stay with that property.
Okay.
Make sure we're clear. They're going to stay with that property. You may change to a different vending or something else that goes over there. Parking is classified separately from a restaurant to a convenience store. Because if people go in and stay versus if people go in and buy and leave from the convenience store. We've got questions on parking, but I just wanted clarity there, that it's going to be a vape shop or tobacco shop or something on one of the building, and it's going to be a convenience store that serves pack and go food.
Yep, back and go.
Okay. It will be cooked on site.
Yeah, it'll be cooked on site.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you show us some plans or tell us, can you show us on your as-built plans?
As-built plans.
As-built plans meaning what's on the ground, what's going to be on the ground.
Human health and use.
Can you show us the parking space?
There's 21 parking spaces actually on the property. You said gas pumps doesn't count, so. Thank you.
Now, I'm gonna ask this question one more time.
That's fine.
Is this as-built?
As
I know you had to strike the parking because you gotta pour the concrete and you gotta do everything else.
Yep.
But these measurements are signed off on by this engineering group.
It is. So the tank fits right here. Angle pumps. They're just horizontal, but just angle them because the traffic flow would be easier for getting in and get out. The only reason the tank was moved here because it was easier for the truck driver to drop the delivery off here and just get out this way, basically.
Okay, and while we're on the tanker truck, where will be his loading zone, offloading zone?
Right here. So that's the tank pit right here.
So it'll be right here?
Mm-hmm.
Can y'all see that?
I don't know why you got extra space. Yeah, it's a small square.
So it's gonna be, and how is it gonna come in?
So that's
It's
where
gonna
you're
come in right here.
gonna fill the
Are they
tank.
gonna be vacuuming it?
No, they're gonna be coming forward and going out forward.
So how much distance, because this is a lift that checks out, assuming this is concrete, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of narrow, that's one of the things that I think Travis had concerns of is how narrow it is right there.
Can the tanker make that swing is the question.
Yeah, can the tanker make a swing there?
Yeah, it's something good. Yeah, about 2 years ago.
I didn't know
That was
that.
on the show, but there's nothing to be run.
So this is parking up next to the
So
building?
you're coming into our street section, but the other thing is you have to be careful of T-Dot's right of way as well, which is the front. They're coming into our street, which they'll need for ingress and egress over there. And from the driveway. The driveway window, yeah. See, we're gonna need that road, so when they come out, they can make that right turn. No, that's why I was, what shrubbery there, or any kind of landscaping would be an issue.
So they'll go out and go this way, that's how traffic.
Yes, we're going to claim our road.
And you have people park here, how
They
they
could
could
probably do it if it was normal parking, but at diagonal, but this is gonna be different.
So if it was like normal, they could go out this way.
Yeah, they could.
So we had it normal, but.
This solid line.
Yeah, I guess that's the reason.
landscape and it's on our road.
What is the reason for the diagonal versus the angle parking versus?
I mean, we just thought it would be just easier to come into this thing.
Well, that's for them to decide, I don't know. I'm not sure that you have room for 20% landscape.
Yeah, this is very
Because like I said,
on the outside. So you are.
oh, should have brought my glasses. So you're saying 22%, 14,000 something square foot? Square feet.
Well,
But you have total landscape area is, oh, I'm sorry, it's 4,000.
You
All right, I'm
could
sorry.
go this way or this way, but this would be better because they could just back out and they could just go this way.
Yeah. Except for the times you got camp.
Yeah, only the tanker's like 20 minutes there, basically. It's
The
not
gas meter is not inside the building.
Yeah, they differ. I told them about it. It was. Yeah,
Just want to hear
actually,
roughly
it's not.
take the division between the smoke shop and
Yeah,
the.
15 minutes at the back.
That's what he's talking about. Yes,
I was asking about this line.
Yeah.
But I was asking about the gas line. So is the gas meter there?
It's outside actually.
Okay.
It just something I don't know what happened. It's right here.
One retail area.
Did y'all get your answers on the,
We were talking about the landscaping, which seems to be utilizing property that's not part of the Ellis property.
Yeah, they can't come onto our road.
That's a long circle with this thing here, there's a fire hydrant down here. On this landscape plan, showing here, your fire hydrant shows on the landscape.
This shows the
I mean,
property line.
Initially, when we talked about, it, you guys asked us if we could landscape that area too, and that's what you guys said. You know, you asked us, and that's why we put it as part of the
That's right,
landscape.
so this shows better on actual landscape.
Yeah.
Before I want to facade this, I'm assuming it has, so, I can't answer for you, I don't project it, because it's going to affect this landscape from on your side.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't want us to touch it, then we won't touch it.
That's not mine at all.
Well, I think we have to claim our road. No circle is tight enough to have landscaping go.
Long circle, I mean, if you guys want to tell stuff, eventually Long Circle is a narrow street, so all that's gonna be good on Long Circle. Long Circle's already cut a street anyway, in my opinion.
Right.
I mean, that's something we need to take down the road.
I mean, we won't touch it if you don't want us to. I mean, initially
we
you
just
asked.
wanted to see where it was.
Yeah, but initially you guys asked us if you guys wanted landscaping. We said, yeah, we could do landscaping for you.
Any other questions about parking or what's on here?
Well, is that enough parking spaces for the use of the buildings?
Yes.
So with the building being a little over 4,000, they require retail to be 250 square foot for parking for that.
Right.
And so the required is 17 parking spaces.
All right.
21.
How did you calculate the 17?
So I did the 4,174, which is the building, square footage divided by the 250, which is what is required per.
The building is 5,000 something.
They kind of debate store and the convenience
But
together. The
there's
total
an office
building.
space in there too, so, I mean, you gotta look up, like,
Where's the office?
right here, this is like a storage and office, this is storage and office, this is bathrooms,
So for retail, it just says space. It doesn't distinguish between usable space or any space like a restaurant or something like that. So the only way that we can,
Recalculate.
so we
How do we
calculated,
know
your
what-
21 still matches your 5,300, 21 spaces which you have is right at 21. That's how much you have, so they're fine with 21. But I think we want to make sure that
With
it's,
the restaurant,
it's not a restaurant.
if it's not considered a restaurant, then it would fit. Yeah.
It's a grab and go, mostly fast food.
but you said there's tables.
Not a
Sit
table,
down.
not a table, just people, you know, if they're coming off a highway, they just want to relax for 10, 20 minutes, they can sit, you know, just have a, you know, while fueling and eating for a little bit. It's not like you could have like a long, there's not a table where you can have family to sit all together at once.
How many would you estimate you could have in there at one time eating?
Probably maybe 4 or 5, roughly, is that?
Did you confirm there's 21 on this right here,
Yes, I counted 21.
on this drawing?
Yes.
So the question is, if this as-built is actually what's on the ground, because I know you had done
No, we haven't.
So it's gonna be kind of hard for Travis to verify that what you have here is the same as what you actually do.
I mean, he could verify it. I mean, Travis, we might need you again.
I'm sorry.
On this drawing that they say represents what's gonna be as-built, it says 21 parking spaces, which fit. And we just don't know that this drawing is gonna be what's actually on the ground after they pour the slab.
So I mean, the calculated parking spaces should come down to the measurements of this, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, we should be able to figure out the yardage of concrete for the space and figure out the parking spaces by the width and length of the spaces.
I don't know if we got time to do all that, but I understand, so.
17 is the required, I think.
21.
21, okay. So if you've got 21, then the only thing that I'm gonna say from the inspector's categories, we have to have 21. Because that's required for our ordinance. I mean, and that's, so as long as it meets that, that's what the ordinance says.
So you're not counting any stacking or something that I saw?
Yeah, I've counted all the spaces that are 9 by 18, which is the only thing that you can count by for parking.
Do you count handicap as part of the parking?
Yes, it is
So
part of
that's
the
your
parking.
21, it's 19 plus 2.
Yeah, all of it, yeah. When you do the parking, the handicap's ADA requirements, and that's just included with those. At least 2 of them for every 50 handicap parking spaces.
And then the spaces, like where the bollards are, because they're in the parking spaces, they're not on the sidewalk.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
The bollards.
Where the bollards are?
It's because somebody, they're liable to run over the building. We had it.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't have a problem. I think it's good that they're there, but the measurement has to start after the bollard, right?
Yes, it does. I mean, we still have it in space there.
Okay, yeah.
Travis, you satisfied the gas line has been moved? Right in the middle of the building.
The gas line, actually,
Yes,
on this one is.
It's on the back corner, on the back corner, it comes around.
So it doesn't go through the building as shown?
I've got photographs of that, I verified that.
Thank you.
I don't know why we had a gas. That was it was not there to begin with. I don't know how we got there.
So well, that's what I know.
It's on this file, and you take it on to the trash.
And if I'm looking at this correctly, here, doctor window
It's right here.
right here, and
They could inspect it.
access and egress is gonna be coming in from somewhere and going through here and exit.
So they could either come in here or come here.
So you'd have to take a right turn off your property. Come down in one circle.
Yeah, that's a way to get out of the side.
Yeah, I just want to decrease traffic, but I don't know. Yeah.
What about other delivery trucks other than gas?
They could get parked here for campaign or,
Any parking your drive-through?
I mean, drive-throughs here, so they have enough space right here. This is a dead space.
It's not that wide. I don't know how wide it is. It's not wide enough for active traffic.
It's 24 feet.
You have a dumpster pad in the way.
Yeah, that dumpster pads in the back of the property. That's a dead end, that goes off the back side of the property.
Where would that square, oh,
That little square thing.
so the concrete dumpster pad, this thing, is not there.
No, it's there.
But can you drive on it and make a right?
Fenced off here.
Yeah.
So this is just a small egress here going out.
Right, but you can drive it because this says pad.
Yes,
It's just, it's a longer pad, so whenever they dump it out, it's a lot,
But a car
stronger
can drive
concrete.
on it.
Yeah, it's a stronger concrete, isn't it?
And did we talk about the tank's proximity to the
Utility,
water
water line,
line?
11 feet.
11 feet? that meet our requirements for T-dots or T-decks or whatever the call?
Yes, yeah, Travis said that it needs to be at least 10 feet, which I think it's been measured by them, by the town, 11 feet. They're saying correctly here. So there's no concerns from there.
Okay. Anything else? Issues, questions? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just want the landscape to be clear that it won't go beyond Mall Circle.
So
That's
you
their
guys don't
property
want us
line.
to touch it, right?
Will that impact the 22?
Yeah, that will reduce to 20%, that is required for the landscape.
It'll reduce it below 20%? So that would be an exception that we grant?
Because that's what you initially, that's what, how.
I know, yeah. But they weren't sure about, I guess they weren't sure about your lot size. To have the lot go onto the road, and the road is tightened up, then
Yeah, I mean, if it goes below 20% and you don't want to have that, then it would require a variance with the BZA. So you would have to have a meeting to make that variance. Because it's a zoning requirement.
The last question I have is the old sign, has it been taken out?
Yes, it has. He was, finally came down.
You didn't do anything on it, did you? Just sit there and bold numbers. What else, guys?
I'm just a little, I'm concerned about the congestion with this drive-through and traffic flow. I feel like that stacking lane and the drive-through creates more congestion.
I mean, drive-through, what happens is they can come in and they can come out on one circle. So there's 24 feet wide, actually more than 24 feet wide, like gap between the building and the property line.
What about backup? What about if you're doing a great business?
There's no way that
You
drive-through.
just deal with that as it happens, huh?
I don't think so. That drive-through is that easy.
It seems like you could take the extra lane, this lane out here.
So that lane right here, it's just for.
Well, you're gonna have to be able to get to your
And
dumpster.
that's why it's there. Just to,
You could move this landscaping over here.
the Concord one would be for the zero.
No, there to here.
That's a drive-through window right there.
You know, it would be better if you, I mean,
You
you would
can't.
drive all the way around, but you can't do that now.
There's a problem with that.
Mr. Lay?
Yes, at last night's city council meeting, the city council passed their business permits subject to certificate of occupancy being issued by the building inspector. The vice mayor is here. He read off the zoning ordinance there pertaining to enforcement, who has authority, who does not have authority, and I believe he's still here. And you told us that neither the planning commission or the city council has the authority for the enforcement of this after the building permit is issued, is that correct?
So we've been here reading the zoning ordinance. Section 1202, and what I said last night is Section 1202 grants authority to the building inspector to enforce all aspects of the ordinance, including the site plan. So in that regard, it would seem to appear that that Travis would be the sole enforcement there. Now, there is a section that we just found that says that when there are alterations, that you can't alter the site plan. It does not talk about a process. There is nowhere in the zoning ordinance we just looked for that talks about a process for doing that. The section 1202 does allow for modifications through the enforcement officer. It's not very detailed. What we were just sitting here talking about is we probably need to make it clear in the zoning ordinance the authority of the enforcement officer.
And on a separate issue with our city attorney, Sam Elliott, told us on a different project, not this project, that his recommendation was that the city council or the planning commission not get involved in building permit, that was to be, after it was issued, that goes the sole discretion of the building inspector. Is that correct or incorrect?
That for compliance with
Yes.
the site plan.
Yes. So the planning commission has no enforcement of this.
Well,
I will say that the zoning ordinance, which I reviewed recently too, vests the planning commission with the power to approve or disapprove a site plan.
But it's been approved, hasn't it?
No.
Well, how did you get a building permit? It says they can't get a building permit unless they have a site plan.
So I understand the timeline was in 2023, was approved subject to. They did not come back to get it signed off when they did approve. They got the building permit in 24. Then they resubmitted a site plan. They sent a site plan to me to be put on the agenda, which in essence, they volunteered to be put back in the site plan process.
So we didn't change the site plan at all. I mean, only thing was
you
changed.
changed.
I mean,
Angle parking, you don't have a drive-through in the back.
I mean, yeah, angle parking, that's, I mean, you're talking
Yeah.
about pump horizontal, we're just trying to.
You
make it
also,
work
the
flow.
original site plan that was approved had a drive-through going to the back.
Not really. We discontinued, it was changed after that, actually, if you look at it.
Did you get approved by the planning commission when you changed it?
No, I mean, no, when we got approved, there was no drive-through going around the building.
That's, there was.
No.
No, it was.
BCA had to approve the exception to keep you from having to do that. So we did that.
This was easy.
We approved that.
We had to approve, Board of Zoning Appeals had to approve the setback.
We did.
This was approved in BZA, and that's where the confusion set in on all this, from the mayor and myself. I told you last time, I get tired of telling you y'all are dense when I'm telling you this, that I'm taking the blame for this. Period. This went to BZA, we approved the drive-through that was wrapped around it, come back after the fact. I spoke to Andy on the telephone, I don't remember what month it was, about taking it away and setting the building in the original setback location, which still was in BZA over the rear delivery discrepancies of Montego's ordinance, which was approved at BZA. But where we failed, Mayor and I thought BZA was the end of the line.
That's right.
So then it come to a building permit to be produced to the property owners, which we done. And I didn't know until Katie called it, that this was supposed to come back to you guys for a sign off on your site plan. Hence the reason that we don't have a site plan. All we need to do is sign a site plan.
I'll stipulate for the record, there were a lot of mistakes made
There was.
in this. There's a lot of gaps in here. This was 2 years ago, 2+ years ago.
2+ years ago.
There's a lot of gaps. I'm not blaming y'all, other than for the fact of some of the changes you made that nobody knew anything about.
I mean, I understand we've made changes like angle parking and angle pumps.
You moved the driveway.
Yeah, driveway.
So what it done's done. So it became a credibility issue with us, but it was never approved. It was sent to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Board of Zoning Appeals approved the setback, and that's all they were dealing with. It then never came back for approval here. And that's exactly what happened.
And even the site plan that had been submitted and then deferred to the BZA was changed in a number of different ways without reference to the planning commission.
A lot of difference.
But the building permit was still issued and allowed them,
I said there was a lot of issues.
right, and the main one being, they operated under a valid building permit issued by the town of Monteagle and has been inspected by the building inspector, and he told me that it has been built according to the plan.
According to
Is that what-
building plans, yeah.
Well, building plans, not site plans.
Right, well, the site plan,
They don't mirror each other.
it is location and setbacks and those things,
It's
but,
more than that.
well, but you people are trying to hassle these people about telling them to move a driveway on something.
We're trying to make sure, after the fact, Dean, that there's enough parking spaces, so when we sign off on it, we just got that, okay? That's the reason we're here.
Yeah.
That's the reason we
But
invited.
why do we want to change a driveway?
Why do we want
Why
to?
do you have the authority to
We
change the
did
driveway?
change the driveway.
You're talking about it. You spent
We were
several minutes on
asking,
it.
we were asking them, because the tanks got moved, the sign changed places, and the parking places changed.
And there's still enough parking spaces. And these people operate these.
We found that out
these
today.
businesses.
We found every bit of that. That's what we're here for today. is
We've
to-
hassled these people for over 2 years. I've been to several,
No.
yes.
They sat on it for 2 years and came
Yeah.
back.
And it all started about a backdoor delivery.
End of December of 23, I think,
23?
23, and then February is when we got our plans approved.
But you haven't been back in front of us since.
No.
Yeah. No.
But they still have a building permit and they built a building off of it.
The building permit was predicated on a site plan that existed at the time it was issued. The zoning ordinance prohibits building anything that is not in accordance with the approved site plan.
You guys have had
The issue.
over 2 years to bring this to their attention. You didn't meet in December, you said you had no business. Actually, you did have business. It could have been dealt with in December.
It has to be on the
So
agenda.
they weren't waiting on us for 2 years.
If
Dan. I don't know
if
why you
there's
keep saying
something,
that.
oh, yes, you should have known then,
If the town doesn't
Uh,
have the right of way.
For 2 years?
that they hadn't come back. You've known for 2 years they hadn't come back.
Landscape department, which, again, that was another.
It's just hassling these
It's so
people for
small.
2 years.
Probably so small.
That's
And
your
others,
opinion.
yeah, and a lot of other people feel the same way.
Okay, well, I
Developers,
apologize for that.
yeah.
You will agree, you have not been back in here since you were approved.
Since February of 24 now, I haven't been
No,
back.
February 23,
24.
20, I've been here since February, and you guys have not. I looked at the records, and it was approved, there was a review in January 23, you came to a planning commission in February 23, went to the BZA the next month, or whatever, later that month.
As soon as we got approved, we got a building permit, and
I mean, I've looked at our records, and I've sent the meeting.
I'm positive.
I mean, no, because I would have been better than, and I've never addressed this until now.
Well, you've had 2 years to send them an email that
Can we
asks
just
them about
approve our
it.
notes from the workshop and see if we can get them a site plan for God's sakes? We beat this to death and we all look like imbeciles sitting in this meeting.
We weren't aware, Dean, that the site plans were not approved.
This man here should have been.
Why would I?
We were not aware, including him, that the site plans had not been approved. I started this conversation out and told you there was a lot of mistakes made on this project, and we're trying to fix them tonight.
Who made the mistake?
I made them.
Okay, then y'all just said you didn't, they
I made
didn't
the
do
mistake.
something.
I made the mistake. Jonathan contributed. Travis contributed, but I made the mistake.
Then
Okay?
let's get to a resolution.
Okay. I've
They
heard
don't need to
enough.
change the
I've heard
driveway.
enough. Any conversation?
I don't think so. I think the main thing is we're trying to make sure that there's not going to be accidents in this parking lot and people pulling out. And it's a really tight parking lot. And that's what we're really concerned about.
And you base that, your experience on what? Are you qualified in that line?
I'll stipulate for the record, the commission is not responsible for the accidents in here. We put it on the table that we do have some concerns. We had some concern day one because we thought he was putting too big a building on the footprint they're putting on. But it's their building.
Look, previously, some of you were griping about it was too tall. And they said they went and measured and it's supposed to be 27 feet, I think, and it was 27 feet.
I heard nothing that sort has been said by the planning commission.
Any other conversation?
I just want to know about the landscaping. Do we keep Moss Circle, can we do something with that and still stay within the 20%?
Like, remove the landscaping? Yes.
From the Moss Circle boundary line, and still keep the 20%? Can you relocate it somewhere that would satisfy that?
Yes, I can relocate it. I feel like we should have enough in the back and then the side as well. We still have room.
Isn't this the boundary line?
Yeah.
And we're showing actually landscaping in the street? Am I
Yeah.
seeing that in the street?
You wanted me to remove that and replace it somewhere else.
Okay, thank you.
So actually, it's not on the street. There's actually a curve of grass there, and we're just trying to make it look where it'll have a curve again.
What was already existing?
Existing, we'll just want, that's why we want, that's what we're asking. Our property lines.
I understand.
So you get what, that's why, and that's what, last time when we came here, and that's what they said, they said, yeah, we could landscape it and make it look nice if you want to have a curve around it, basically. So that's what,
So if the city or the state wanted to do something,
it will still be safe, on the safe side.
do that. Anything else? Do I have a motion?
Move we approve the site plan as last revised and submitted as the final site plan, not subject to further modification.
There's not gonna be any further modifications, this is it.
I have
Is
a
that your
motion.
That's my motion.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those for?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
So, now, we are gonna need your 5 copies of this,
Okay.
and you'll need to bring them to Debbie.
Okay.
Yes?
Katie will have to sign it.
And Katie will have to sign them and keep whatever we keep and all that from there.
Got it. Now, one more question since we're already here. Do you want us to keep it as it is right now?
I would say so,
Okay, so use that curve to make it look nice for and just landscape it for you.
because if they wanna claim it anyway, they're gonna claim it, so.
I mean, we're not gonna claim it, but we just want
Yeah,
to keep it.
I see.
If they widen the road, they're gonna claim it.
Yeah, but it'll look prettier
With
like that.
Okay, so we'll just.
Not,
landscape
one's
it.
not impeding on this, I would think.
And we need to bring.
And Travis will let you know what they're.
4 copies. Got it.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry I had to ask you to speak up, but it echoes in here. Or it echoes in my head.
As it is now. You don't change nothing.
Okay. Where are we? We have Grundy County tax map 107C East partial 108.00.01 rezoning request from R2 to R3. Mr. Lay,
Yes, sir.
you're up.
Submitted a request for zoning change. It's parcels that I own where part of it is in R3 and part of the lot is in R2. And I would like it to be all, I think there's 3 lots. One's a very, very small lot that will be combined into one of the other lots, but they're all adjoining. And it doesn't make sense to me for my property to be divided by the zoning. And all of it together is only little over 2 acres.
This is at the, what is that, 3rd Street?
Well, Fairmont, you go on Fairmont, and then Fairmont runs into probably 4th Street or something. When you go around the
But it ends
curve.
right there?
Fairmont actually was supposed to continue on through in a northerly direction, but it never did. And so the curve, instead of an intersection, it became a curve, and it became 4th Street.
Okay.
But when you cut off the main road up there, I would always assume you would be on 4th Street, but no, there's probably a 300 or 400 foot stretch of city street there that's called Fairmont Avenue.
So is the address, the 911 address, 4th Street, or,
Yeah, I don't have a 911 address.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
But you're not on the front end of 4th Street?
They will probably, well, there's one lot sits behind, 911 will probably put that as 4th Street, but they could put it as Fairmont Avenue.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You said that fees are adjoined other property you have that's zoned R3. Is that across Fairmont, the extension of Fairmont, or is it?
It's all on the north side well, it's on the north side of 4th Street.
Okay, so your 4th Street lots, lot adjoins these 3 small lots that are R2.
Yes, well, actually, according to the map, it looks like it cuts them in half. It's hard to tell by the map there, but as far as how many feet, I don't know. But it does cut through the parcels.
Yeah, so if you look at the map, I don't remember which parcel it is, but there's kind of a split parcel where part of it's R3 and then there's I don't know, an easement or whatever.
Yeah, there's a 25-foot easement.
25 foot, yeah, the easement separates it, and then the other portion of the parcel is R2, and then that adjoins those two other parcels that are also R2. So he's asking that all those be R3, so he has all of his properties be R3.
All the access will have to be up on 4th Street or come out there on the end of Fairmont. I mean, that's the only access.
Isn't there, it looks like a driveway in there. Isn't there a house down there where?
Well, not on this property. The house has a Fairmont Avenue address, and it was part of the 4 acres that we owned where the old funeral home garage and the house was. I done a minor subdivision and sold that house in 2 acres. His access is 86 Fairmont Avenue.
Jonathan, I have to ask my famous question. Is this spot zoning?
I wouldn't consider it spot zone. It's adjoining R3. You have R3 kind of on the side, on the bottom. It's right at the center where you have R2 and R3 meeting. It's right here. So here's R2, it's R3, it's right in that corner right there. So
I'm going to ask a question again for the record. Is this spot zone?
No, I wouldn't say.
Any questions of Mr. Layman? Or anybody? Does this require any adjoining landowner notifications?
If it goes, I mean, that's something that you can be a board member, alderman can do. There's nothing in the zoning ordinance that requires it. It's usually just one.
Okay, so changing zoning doesn't require?
It's not a requirement. It's usually something that communities will do as a good gesture, unless you have it explicitly written.
I think our zoning ordinance requires that a sign be posted on the lot, letting neighbors know that it will be rezoned.
But letters to property owners are not something that's explicitly written.
I couldn't hear you.
So you have to put a sign that's being rezoned, but letters to adjoining property owners is not explicitly required. There's something that requires that.
I'll make a motion that we approve this zoning change for.
I have a motion on the floor to approve.
Second.
I have a second. Any conversation? All those for?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Booker.
Thank you.
All right, next thing I have is sketch plan zoning ordinance amendment.
Yeah, so this is basically, I think the board had concerns about the 1,000 square feet, new buildings and stuff that would fall under sketch plan requirements. So essentially I just removed that and just added language that kind of strengthened that all development, anything the building inspector, all these other stuff needs to go, the building inspector doesn't review, has to go to site plan review.
Have the council seen this proposal?
Well, that's why they sent it back to you guys, so then you guys are sending it back to them.
Have you modified it?
We'd like to know if we're doing what they wanted us to do. So.
I haven't seen the final, I don't think I saw the final, but Jonathan and I had a couple of conversations about, you deleted number 5, is that right? And then what other language did you add?
At the end, if somebody have the ordinance up to read it real quickly.
I mean, I only speak for one of us, so.
Yeah, so I deleted number 5, which had the 1,000 square foot thing, and then I put, for 4, I put any new development will require site plan approval by the planning commission. So it just basically, I think it was, you guys were concerned that you didn't want to have to put that on Travis, the building inspector, to do reviews for 1,000 square foot or less buildings, especially with the potential changes to downtown corridor where a lot of them might be less than 1,000 square feet. That would make it so you didn't have as much oversight as you would want.
I speak for myself only, it addressed the concern that I had about new buildings, so yes.
The intent here was to, somebody remodeling inside a building that it fit, they didn't have to come in.
Yeah, so the number 4 would still apply if they're doing remodeling for them, then it could just be reviewed by the building
So
inspector.
it's Paco Tacos, they wouldn't have to come in front of us because of what they do. That didn't mean that what Paco Tacos do.
Is that a food truck or?
No, that's where this issue came up. They were wanting to do a patio thing out front.
Deck out front. I mean, well, they called it a deck, I called it a.
Yeah, whatever it's called, whatever it was to be. And I think that's how the 1,000 square feet got put in there, thinking on the outside that a sketch plan would be okay, and it probably would on that, but the language of it says, for 1,000 feet or less addition, which could be structural and not patio. And I think that was our concern, in relationship to that particular spot. And then with the changing the C1 to the smaller square footages and stuff, you could conceivably add 1,000 square feet onto a 400-foot building and not have to have a site plan. And I think that was it was those things that
Well, it's a smaller of, I believe, that I could see 1/3 of the existing building.
Yeah.
So,
I understood it to be just new building. Did you guys not want any alterations to like, because the idea would be, let's say you have a small building that's 1,000 square feet, you know, or something like that. Any alteration, they can only do alterations to it up to 333 square feet additionally. That's would be.
Yeah, we're talking about addition. Existing though,
Yeah.
they can remodel.
They can remodel, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, but they wouldn't be able to do any new building under that. And we removed the new building thing. But I was thinking more of, let's say somebody wants to add an extra, you know, kind of a storage room to an existing building. It's like 200 square foot storage room. They could do that under these regulations without having to go to planning commission. They could do a sketch plan with the building spec because it's not really changing the structure, like its integrity and stuff. They're not putting
that's
it.
reasonable.
That's what we want to do, to make it easier for people so that way.
But the new construction, as far as adding 1,000 square feet.
Or any new construction has to go to planning commission.
Jonathan, to the best of your ability, you addressed their concerns and put it in here.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, any conversation? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion, we accept the amended ordinance.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
We have 2 seconds. That's 4. Okay, any more conversation? All those for?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Any properly presented new business? Michelle, we hadn't heard from you. You want to say anything? What time are you now?
Tommy. I sent all y'all an actual email. I don't know if y'all sent it or
Yes,
not. I want to get some clarification on TCA code 134302. There is a site plan that I sent y'all. I'm not sure if Katie got it or not. I think everybody else got it except Katie. I did not have the email, I'm sorry. But I just sent it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Did you not? Okay, I'll give it to you as well. I'm sorry, I did not come organized tonight. I just come back in from the deployment from the ice storm and all, so I didn't bring anything with me. With that said, there is a subdivision in 1985 that got put into the record somehow. It was never approved by y'all, but it has been put in. It's at the end of Central Avenue. The mayor knows about it. We talked about it many times. He can kind of fill y'all in and tell you what's going on. But with that said, there is my private driveway is right adjacent to the subdivision that was put in on that. They were wanting to come down my driveway to access that subdivision without coming in front of the planning committee to actually, get the easement and everything that they should show, because if you're actually, according to that, if I'm understanding correctly, so please let me know if I'm not understanding. Anything that changes, even if it's just an easement, a driveway, or whatever, in a subdivision, has to come in front of y'all if that plat changes at all. Is that not correct?
Well, you're dealing with something that was approved in '85, so I can't go back to,
But,
I can go back to.
but they're doing it now.
I understand.
Okay.
I can't go back to,
I understand that, but anything that's being changed on that plat has to become,
If I may, it sounds like, and I understand the email, that you said there was pending legal action done.
that doesn't have nothing to do.
If there's pending legal action, I would advise the planning commission not to.
I understand.
We are not involved in this until that's resolved.
We have no jurisdictional,
You have jurisdiction.
we have no jurisdictional on anything
There's
other
been
than is what
no
properly
plats
presented
submitted to the planning commission. The
Well,
planning
I couldn't
commission
do it.
Hold on, hold on. Once they go and cut over and actually add driveways and all, which they have done, that falls into Mont Eagle and Mississippi Valley. That does not have anything to do with a court battle or a legal battle.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but it doesn't have anything to do with this planning committee. So something may be brought to us in the future. I understand that, but it has nothing to do with this planning committee.
It will be next week then. Thank you.
I understand, I understand. Okay, anything else? Yes, sir.
Richard, can I just make a quick little, I would just like to make a
Yes,
suggestion.
come up here, I can't hear you.
I'd like to make a suggestion just for consideration. It might help avoid some things in the future if you all direct Jonathan to look at, what is it, 1202, I think is where the enforcement action is on site plans and stuff like that, to tighten up some language in there that allows the building inspector to approve minor changes. We'd have to define minor changes to site plans, and with a written log of that, which Travis already has. And I get this thing was a little bit different because there wasn't a site plan approved. But if you all would be willing to consider having him put some language that just talks, that gives the building inspector a little bit more authority for minor changes on site plans that are recorded, then we can avoid some, maybe in the future, some changes to
So
site plans.
I understand, I've given him that authority now, but it's verbal, and I understand, he wants, and I understand totally. And so we are working on that.
Okay.
We're working on the checklist to avoid what happened here previously with items not getting recorded correctly and so forth. But that is on our agenda. And in the meantime, Travis has contacted me, and I'm taking it upon myself. If I think it's a minor change, I'll give him an email, give him authority to do what he's going to do. If I think it's not, and it needs to come back in front of the commission, then I'll tell him to hold it.
Okay, and
That's a short fix.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm just saying, there might be some, an extra couple of sentences that can get written into the ordinance if you want to. I can't do it, you guys, if you want to direct him to just look at it and see what kind of language would give
Now, of
written
course, we're
authority.
dependent on the developer to admit that he or she is changing the site plan and asks for that proof. It hasn't happened in the history.
Right, and I get that, and also Travis, as he drives around and stuff, would be seeing progress being made on something, and they can communicate. But it just gives them a little bit more authority in the written language. If you want to.
I agree with you 100%. I hate to even ask the question, but is there any more new business? Martha Ann's leaving, so that means we can all go. Do I have a motion? Got a motion, do I have a second? All those for? All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you all.